Just your thoughts on that game, obviously. What went wrong for the Bruins really in the series? We were both pretty pumped up that they even extended it to 6 games. Thought it could have been over in 5. They did extend it. They fought hard. But again, even as Game 6 went on, I'm sure you were thinking the same thing. It was like, you've got to score. I love the defense. I love what Swayman's doing. How many times in the series have we just felt like you got to get me more offensively? They didn't get it done in that game. Panthers kept hanging around, and you just knew. I just had this pit in my gut that you just know if you don't put one in here and put this game away, the Panthers are going to do it, and they did.
It was watching that you see even the Bruins come out. And in the first 5 minutes of that game, you're like, all right, they're playing well. Well, they jump out to a shot advantage, 4-0.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you see that become a 9-0 shot advantage on the other end for the Panthers. It was basically the Bruins come out, played a good 4 to 5 minutes, but really can't generate anything beyond the neutral zone, really can't generate anything in the offensive zone. And they were just playing on their heels. Now, even given, think about that first period. B's good 5 minutes, Panthers excellent 14 minutes. Then Pavel Zacha on a breakaway finally gets one through. But also what hits me is that big-time goal after you struggled mightily in the first period, got dominated, but you get it from a guy like Pavel Zacha, who's one of your most important players in your top 6, but also his first career playoff goal. All right, you weren't getting scoring from there. Cool, you got it. Now get it elsewhere. And that just never came to fruition. This is a team, the second that game ended, where you go, they have the goaltending. Yeah, blue line could use some depth, but the blue line's there.
Yeah.
I do like the toughness of this team, which I wasn't expecting to say coming into the playoffs.
Sure.
But they can forecheck, they can play physical, they can play playoff hockey. But actually creating quality chances to score, it's not there. And for someone beyond David Pastrnak to make something happen in the offensive zone, that's not there either. And the way the game ended did suck. Where it was just a Gustav Forsling, but it's what the Panthers did. Gustav Forsling on the rebound, not even looking as he goes to shoot, 5 holes a Bruins player, and just gets Swayman never saw that puck coming, never had a chance.
Nope.
And it was like a fluky-ass goal that ended a great series. Swayman played phenomenally well. You had the best goalie in the playoffs. You just didn't help him out. And any time, any level, you see a goalie playing the way he does, no matter what, no matter how good he's playing, no matter how many games you're winning, the guys on his team will go, we have to help him out. We know we have to help him out. It's definitely was in the Bruins' heads, but they just never helped him out. They were just missing the speed, the creativity, and the dynamic playmaking in their top 6, top 9. It just wasn't there.
Yeah, it's like a pitcher throwing a great game, but if he doesn't get the run support, he's not going to win the game. And we could walk away from the game talking about all the strikeouts he had and how great he looked and how dominant he was. But they lost the game 2-1, right? It's like, so you got to get the run support as well, to your point. I think overall, George,
it was a great series.
It was a great season.
Oh, yeah.
You know, listen, the Bruins, I can only speak for me here. They exceeded my expectations because I put all my eggs in last season's basket. And so, I felt like I needed therapy after losing to the Panthers in the first round last season. With all the records that team broke and in the regular season and all the accolades and everything they did. So I came into this season, and I'll be honest. If you had told me, look, all the retirements, the free agent losses, everything this team lost from that record-breaking regular season team to now. And you had told me, all right, here's what's going to happen. You're going to win a playoff series. You're going to be at the top of the Eastern Conference. You won't be the best team, but you'll be, top 2, 3, 4 teams in the East. You'll win a playoff series, and then you'll bow out. I'll say, wait, you mean this team is going to go further and do better than that team? That I put all the eggs in the – okay, I'll take it. Now, obviously, we're here. It's over. You're losing 6. It hurts like hell. But if I'm reflecting on the season that was, I mean, I think it was a successful season. This team exceeded my expectations in that way. They took a step further. They won a playoff series. And yeah, sure, the Panthers got you. But, hell, they almost blew a 3-1 this time around. You know what I mean? So I did see some progress, and I don't believe this team is far off. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm giving Jeremy Swayman whatever he wants financially. I'm making sure I got that guy wrapped up. You are staying with my organization for a long time, sir. Thank you very much.
A little 7x7, maybe an 8x8.
Whatever. I'll have you crunch the numbers. But I tell you one damn thing, Jeremy Swayman, what do you want? Here's a blank check. Okay, great. Boom. Go ahead. Go make that deposit. Congratulations.
You better do a 10x10 if you give him that.
I also want to keep Jake DeBrusk within reason. You know, I personally feel as though Jake DeBrusk can go out on the open market and demand some money, and someone will probably give it to him. But if I'm him, I'm considering staying on a team that is not far off and a team that can at least get close financially to what I can get on the open market. I don't believe the Bruins would ask him to take a haircut here. I think he can make good money here and win. That's the key. So if I'm Jake DeBrusk, I'm considering that. So I'm bringing him back. I'm bringing Sway back. Outside of that, hey, I'm open for moving and shaking, but here's what I have to have, George. I must get a top-line center. I just have to have it.
Yeah.
And I have to have someone that can take some scoring pressure off of Pasta and off of Marchie. If I can get a top-line center that can do that and keep those players I just said, I'm running it back.
This was a bridge year for the Bruins.
Yeah.
Everything they accomplished last year, but also Patrice Bergeron retiring, David Krejci stepping away. Yeah, Brad Marchand's still here, but him being a captain, this is a whole new regime. The Chara, Krejci, Bergeron, they're done.
Yeah.
Did a great job. Historically, literally historically, one of the best regular seasons we've ever seen. Statistically, the best. And you see them go out 109-point team in the regular season, get to the second round. Guys like a Matty Patra that flashed in the pan early on in the season, got banged up. He was 19, 20 years old. What do you expect? Mason Lerai arriving in the playoff spot. Brazeau, Geeky, Peak, Beecher, Lauko, all those guys having big moments. One hell of a year for the Bruins. Centennial season, a lot of fun. But also you found out a lot about this team at this point too. You said it, Jeremy Swayman, the way he just played in this postseason, that's number one. He made his case. And you know what? Rested. That's it. I don't need to see more. That guy, 13.3 goals saved above average, a .933 save percentage in the playoffs. And in the games where he got lit up, the 5 guys in front of him weren't helping at all. But he showed he can carry a team through the postseason. They are not down to the wire with the Panthers in Game 6 if it's not Jeremy Swayman in the net. He played so good in that elimination game. So well all postseason long. But now it's when it all comes together. Restricted free agent. What are you going to give him? $6.5 to $8 million a year. That puts him top 10 to top 5 as a guy in net. And he's looking out there. He's seeing what Ilya Sorokin's making. He goes, that guy making more than me? He's been through the arbitration, stated his case.
He's young, too.
It's a lot moving forward. And even a Jake DeBrusk, a guy that I've been critical of, he was their best skater in Game 6.
doubt.
The block shots he was taking, just putting his body out there and making things happen on the other end. Again, a top 6 guy. But you're right. They need to add that extra layer.
Yes.
We're going to get into all of this, but to me, the conversation starts with the priorities. With cap space now, around 22.5, 23 million.
You didn't have that coming into this season.
No, they had like 70K.
That's right.
They couldn't make any moves. The Maroon acquisition was a surprise that they could even bring anyone in.
Right.
And again, the guys like the Patras, the Larais, ahead of schedule. That helped them a ton too because of the value that they weren't paying much for.
That's right.
And them coming in. So now it's the Jake DeBrusks that are a free agent. Danton Heinens, do you bring them back? Blue line losing a couple guys too. And now what happens with Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman moving forward? To me, it starts with Sway. You go out and next season will be 26 years old.
Wow.
and is a top 5 goalie. Him and Igor Shesterkin are the future of the league, the future faces in the net in the league. I mean, that's a guy that can go out, go 7 by 7, 7 years, $7 million, maybe 8 years, $8 million. He's be worth every penny by what he showed in the playoffs because he stepped in. It went 1, Sway against the Leafs, 2, Linus, and then Jeremy Swayman from that point on.
Yeah.
Linus came in, obviously, to spell him for 1. But where everyone saw it could be 1, 3, 5, 7, no. Whatever Jim Montgomery and goalie Bob saw and Jeremy Swayman said, this is our guy moving forward, and he stated the case and stepped up there. And now it is with Linus Ullmark. 1 year left. Will be an unrestricted free agent in 2025 in that offseason. But this is a guy that at age 30 is just as good as he was at age 26. So, Bruins have a great problem on their hands. 2 good goaltenders and what to do with the future. But I think it all starts with paying Jeremy Swayman. And then you're right, that Jake DeBrusk conversation makes sense for me too. He earned himself a lot of money with his postseason play. And there are teams like in Edmonton who would like to play him.
Sure.
And I don't think he wants to go to, I wouldn't expect him to want to go to a situation like this. But a Chicago Blackhawks who need some culture put in their dressing room, get someone from the Bruins, great skater, older vet, and now teaching the young guys like a Bedard and the other ones are bringing in. Even a team like in San Jose, what they could be cooking with Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini potentially being 2 of their top line wings and centers, right? But I think for him, it's all about winning and what his price will be because he earned himself a nice paycheck this postseason.
He definitely did. But, a lot of the teams you named and a lot of the realistic possible suitors for Jake DeBrusk, there are question marks with those franchises, with those teams, with those situations. Sure, you could get the bag for sure.